episode of the Learning Curve with me, Lee. Today I have a very special guest, someone that means a lot to me,
All right.
has taught me a lot of things in life, and was very instrumental in my upbringing as well as my adulthood. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome my mom,
Hi, guys.
Doing Life with Miss Mary, if you want to
Yes.
follow.
Yes, please
On
follow.
YouTube and all other social media accounts. So thank you for joining me.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome. I had to have you on.
Well,
I
that's
had
so
to.
sweet.
It's only right. It's only right. It's gonna be a good episode.
All right.
So I here on the learning curve, the biggest thing that I'm trying to highlight or show is just the motto is progress is profit.
Progress is, I like that. Okay.
So, the idea that no matter what, as long as you're progressing in something, your goals, you're learning a new skill, et cetera, right? It's profit, right? It's making sense.
Okay.
So I wanted to ask you, I know you just started back up on your YouTube journey.
Yes, I did.
And
I just started back.
Yeah. What are you... kind of talk to me about some of the things that you learned previously that you're taking into this new venture in YouTube. Like
some things that I learned about the YouTube?
Recording previously,
yeah.
and now we brought you here. But one of the main things that you learned was that you, going forward, are going to be a lot more consistent.
Yes. So I'm sorry, I kind of veered off that. 67 does that to you. So you asked me the question, what was it? What did I learn?
Yeah, what did you learn from your previous times recording videos that you're taking into your new...
Okay. What I learned from my previous videos is to still stay true to myself. No matter what other people are doing, I learned to stay true to myself. And another thing that I'm learning is if I really, really want to stick with it this time, I'm going to have to at some point learn that piece of it.
Yes.
I'm going to have to learn how to edit, because if I don't have an editor, then I'm going to drop off the wagon again. So right now I'm just filming, but in the back of my mind, not even in the back of my mind, I do watch videos on people editing and stuff. So I am opening up myself. I don't have to just dive into it so quickly, but I am opening up myself to know that, you know what, if I really, really want to stick with this, I'm going to have to learn that piece of it.
Yes. Yeah. It's crucial. It's crucial. And I want to touch on what you said before as well, like being authentic to yourself.
Yeah. Okay.
I had another guest on the show. And after the cameras were off and everything, we were still talking and rapping. And he told me, I just read this article that talks about people that are operating on the highest level. He said, when you talk about, if you're into this kind of stuff, like vibrational patterns and energy, right? And he was saying that people that vibrate on the highest level, I was like, he was like, they have one thing in common. And I'm like, what is it? They have like love, like they love what they do is what I'm assuming he would say. He was like, no. He was like, the people that vibrate on the highest level are those that are authentically themselves.
Wow.
So that to me led me to think, wow, like, so it's not that you love doing what you're doing. Like, I'm sure that's a piece of it, but you're just authentically doing you.
Yeah.
Right. And we can look across the board at this from athletes. When you look at LeBron James, right? He's just doing him. He's just doing him.
Yeah.
He's a 6'9", small forward, really. We're not going to get into the specifics, but he's playing his game. He's not trying to be like Kobe or Jordan. He's being him. And, so I thought that was really powerful. Just drop that.
Yeah, I think that's real powerful, because I think about too, you think about a lot of people that I've been watching YouTube for a long time. And some people, you'll come across their channels and you'll wonder like, dang, how do they have so many followers, or what is it about them? It's because people are so hungry for people to be real.
Real.
You know, I mean,
Authentic.
for years and years, we've been captivated by the actors and the artists and, you know, different people moving and stuff like that. But now I think we're in a time and season in our lives where people just want real life. Real, how do you clean your house? How do you cook dinner? How do you make that work? How do you take that baby to the daycare and get back
them
home?
2-year-olds?
How do you deal with those 2-year-olds? People are just thirsty and hungry for everyday people. That's what I see. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I think we've had our fill. Not to say that we're not still fascinated with actors and all that kind of stuff, but people just want to see, you know, people in their real life and their, you know, how they really are.
It's relatable.
Yeah, right? That's what
it's relatable to see somebody cleaning their house. It's relatable to see somebody cooking. It's relatable to see them dealing with their kids in the middle of the store and they're having a tantrum. It's relatable and you know, shameless plug and you know, I haven't done any work with them, but even on my hat, right on the side of it is, I don't know what side it's on. It might be on this side. It says IFY something something something. And what that stands for is if you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
So dad gang, if you know what it's like having a young kid, you know, right? Right, being a mother. If you know,
you know,
you know. If you're an actress, if you're a you know, athlete, like it's the same thing. If you know, you know that the challenges involved in doing this are the challenges and the rewards as well that come with being authentic to yourself.
Right. Yeah. And you can even go as far as to compare that to like when you're flying on a plane. Before you had a child.
And the kids, I got a story about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the kids screaming and hollering on the plane. And you don't have kids. And you're thinking, oh my God, why can't they control that child? That's what you're thinking to yourself. Just be real. Why can't they? That's a grown adult. And there's a 2-year-old or 3-year-old that is about to make this plane crash, that's running ruckus over these big grown people. And you have no empathy. You're mad, you're rolling your eyes, you put your earplugs in, you put your hoodie up over, you got an attitude because you're thinking it doesn't make sense that this grown man or grown woman can't control the child. But the flip side of it is
that you can't control your kids. That's the flip side of it. You can't listen. The only way to get them kids to be quiet, sometimes, especially on a plane, you might need to just slide them the tablet. You might need to give them what they're actually asking. I want some candy. You might need to give them some candy. Outside of you, you know, and I don't condone this, but putting your hands on your kid.
We ain't doing that.
I mean, and that truthfully will probably make it worse because you're on a confined space. It's not like you could. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. But it's not like you can hit your kid and then they'll run off. Where they going to run to?
Right.
Down the aisle? Now you got everybody else looking at you because you didn't hit your kid on the plane. It's not acceptable socially anymore. The kid screaming, running up and down the aisle, you chasing after them. The flight attendant in the way.
Listen. And you're going to be brought up on some charges when the plane lands.
Yeah, somebody going to report you.
Somebody going
to get you.
So, and I think the thing of it is what we have lost is, you got to remember this child is being squeezed into this tight space. And I mean, if we really be honest, some of us adults want to scream and cry because you can't stand it. Like, think about you, as tall as you are, when you squeezed in this seat between these two people. Even on the end, when you try to stretch your leg out and she comes by and they're constantly bumping your legs and stuff.
Listen.
Those types of things are so irritating, but you're an adult, and you have control. So, you know what I mean?
I'm going to do a new segment just because you brought that up. And I'm going to call them learning tips.
Oh, I like that.
So a learning tip for all of y'all out there, all my taller individuals that watch the channel and follow on social media. If you don't know, which I'm sure you do, here's a learning tip. if you get asked where you want to sit, sit in that. Okay. Sit in the exit row, because what that enables you to do is those exit row seats have longer leg room. There's longer distance between the back of their seat and your legs. Okay. So if you're a tall person and you don't pay extra for the seat. Okay. Versus if you're first class or business class, you got to pay extra for that. You get the extra leg room. Right. Yeah. But if you don't want to pay that extra fee,
right.
a little tip for you guys, sit in the exit row, or if there's nobody sitting there, ask one of the stewardess, hey, can I sit there? The only thing you'll have to do is give a verbal confirmation. Right. In the event an emergency happens, which it won't. Right. You will have to help people out. Right. But yeah, it's very unlikely. Yeah. So you just basically pay for an economy seat, and you get your leg room like you're in first class. It's a game changer for all my tall people, but yeah. Side note.
Learning curve.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a little learning tip.
Curve.
Learning tip for y'all.
Yeah.
Little tip when you're flying out.
We're constantly learning.
You gotta learn, right? I know I talked to you a lot about like branding and marketing, and that's like it has a really special place in my heart. Yeah. I love branding, I love marketing, and that's because a lot of it has to do with psychology. Yeah. But a lot of it also has to do with just like storytelling. Okay. Right. And so I wanted to ask you, as you dive deeper into your YouTube journey, what is the story that you're looking to tell through this new project, this new platform, this new ministry? What is it that you're trying to, what do you want people to walk away with when they watch your content?
Ooh, okay.
It's a whole lot of words, I know.
Yeah, no, but it's good. It's good. I've already searched my heart about that before I even started this third time. To be clear about, I really want people to walk away with, you got this and you can do this. Whether you have $20 or whether you have $200 or whether you have $2,000
or $200,000
or $200,000, whatever it is that you've got. Because I think somewhere along the line, a lot of people, and I've learned this from owning properties and stuff, a lot of people you think have had motherly advice, or you think knows. We just assume everybody know how to clean, but everybody don't know how to clean. Right. Some things are just so natural to us that we just assume everybody know. It's like almost like, oh, everybody know how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Not really. And not that there's a right or wrong way, but there is a way. If you really want, you got to put the jelly all over.
Yes.
The bread. And my husband's guilty of this. When he would make a peanut butter and jelly, he would put the peanut butter in the middle and the jelly in the middle. I'm like, what about all around the edges? When I bite into the sandwich, I want to taste the peanut butter and jelly. That's right. I don't want to have to keep biting until I get to the middle before I realize it's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, But I just want to really put things out there to help people. You know what I mean? And not saying that you got to have a lot of money to do these things. And for those who do have the money, kudos to you. That's very good. I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you. But everybody don't. Yeah. And so my whole brand deal this time is I really, really want to help people from every facet of their lives with the knowledge that I've gained in these 67 years. Not saying that Miss Mary got it all right or know it all, but the little knowledge that I do have, I'm willing to share it. You know what I mean? It's like they say, each one teach one.
Yes.
Well, I really want to help. And I'm hoping and praying that some people that'll come across my channel that say, oh, I didn't know that. Okay, I'll try that.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? So 100%. that part of teaching, learning curve. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I think I've learned a lot from you when it comes to cleaning and different things as well. Just thinking about the idea of like when I used to spill stuff on the rug as a kid, and you showed me, you get some Dawn dish soap, you rub that on the stain, and if you're quick enough, it'll come out. Right. But I'm thinking back even just as far as like maintaining a household and keeping things clean. Like I remember as a kid coming home from school, and I probably forgot because kids forget everything. Adults do too, but kids, as a kid, I forgot a lot. So I remember coming home from school one day, and there was the couches was moved all over the place. I was confused. All the windows was up. It was springtime though, springtime in Michigan. And so I'm like, so it's still a little chilly, but it's warm. I'm like, what is going on? And you're like, the carpet cleaners are here. And I'm like, carpet cleaners? Like, what do you mean we vacuum the carpet? Like it's clean. You're like, no, like periodically. You should have a professional come in and just clean the carpets. And what that means is you have to put in the effort to move the furniture off the carpet. They come in, they clean every carpet. So every surface from, if you have carpet on your stairs, your living room area, your dining room area. And I'm pretty sure that helps to lengthen the life of the carpet, as well as just make it clean. And if you have any stains in it, if you like me and you got a kid, stains, coffee stains, and whatever else, juicy juice. So that was just another one of those things that I learned coming up. Like it's great to be able to buy these things like a home. But there's also maintenance involved with these things.
Oh my God.
Maintenance is a big part of
it's a crucial part of it. You know what I'm saying? Because like when you buy a home, especially if you get a new home, when they paint the walls, they use flat paint.
That's a fact.
And so it's hard to wipe those walls and keep them clean. So my thing is wash your hands when you come in the house. If everybody wash their hands when they come in the house, then that's a good way of keeping your walls clean. Because it's mainly just dirty hands that's touching.
That's deep.
If you wash your hands, you know, the adults as well as the kids when you come in the house. I'm sure people probably noticed during the pandemic when people did a lot of washing of their hands and stuff. You know what I mean? To keep things. But yeah, the maintenance part, I think people forget that part. They think, oh, I own a house now, I got a house. But yeah, the maintenance part of it. Like you and I was talking about the maintenance of the lawn.
Whoo, let me tell y'all something.
He wasn't ready, y'all. He wasn't ready.
Let me tell y'all something. The house we bought, it has a big yard. Not a big yard, but it's a nice size lot. It's a corner lot. We have a little bit more space, right? And I was not prepared. I was not prepared for the landscaping, for the grass cutting. I wasn't prepared for the landscaping.
Right.
You got to replace your wood chips probably every year. Factor that in. So when this is another learning tip for y'all. If you're looking at buying a house and it's not a townhome, it's not a condo, it's not a double wide, single wide trailer, and you own some land and you have to maintain that land, factor in the mulch. Factor in having somebody come out and spray, or you buying the spray for the weeds. Because those weeds will sprout up on you, and then your yard will be looking like. And then
fertilizing,
aeration.
Oh yes.
And that don't even include cutting the grass, y'all.
Yeah.
Don't forget about that. You got to get a lawnmower, or you got to pay somebody to cut the grass consistently. Don't forget about the water.
Right, because once you fertilize it, you've got to water it.
Got to water it.
And then once it turns green and it's lush, it's going to grow, which means it's got to be cut.
Got to be cut again. Listen, it's a whole lot. I could do a whole video on lawn.
Learning curve. Here's the learning curve.
That's right. That's a fact. That's a fact, you know. So
did you think that once you got in the house that it was just going to be, what did you think? What were you?
I mean, I had an idea, like,
yeah,
you know, as
because
far as maintenance.
growing up with one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and I cut the grass coming up and
Yeah.
different things,
Mm-hmm.
but I just didn't know.
You didn't know all the money pieces of it because you knew about the cutting the grass. Okay, Mike, got to cut the grass. But as far as the fertilizing, the aeration, when we have people come out and do that, the watering of the grass, which means your water bill.
Water bills
So
up.
like you're saying, just talking about the lawn, there's 4 components.
4 pieces of, yeah.
There's your water bill.
Yep.
There's the fertilizing.
Yep.
There's the aeration.
Yep.
And then there's the cutting.
Yep. And we haven't even gotten into actual landscaping.
Yeah.
We haven't even gotten into making beautifying your yard. So look,
learning curves are just things in life.
Yeah.
So to a person looking on the outside, you're just thinking, oh, when they drive by, I just see a beautiful lawn.
Yeah. You're thinking, you're just thinking, oh, they just got their lawn cut.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You're not seeing,
mm-hmm.
oh,
yeah.
Oh, and we forgot about one of the biggest things. What is it called? Hedging?
Oh, yeah, edging.
Edging?
Yes.
My bad. You got it. Edging?
Yes, you got to do that.
You have to edge.
You have to do that. Get it off the sidewalk.
If you don't edge it, that's like going to the shop and you getting a haircut and you don't get a lineup.
Right. Amen. Yeah, it sure is. Yeah.
Right? So edging is another component that you got to learn. That's where you cut the edges so that it the lines look crisp.
Right. Around the sidewalk so that the grass don't grow into the sidewalk and over the sidewalk, so it looks really nice. I really like it when I see a house that's been edged really nice. And I think too, like when we're talking about going back to your phrase, the learning curve.
Yeah.
You think about like I notice like now when we pass big houses, huge houses, and I see them, a lot of times I'll enjoy the beauty of it. But after I enjoy the beauty, the next thing comes in my head is I wonder how much
that lawn maintenance
how much that AC is.
Yes.
How much their heat bill is in the winter. How much their water bill is. You know what I'm saying? Nope. So you're standing on the outside looking in because you don't know until you experience this and have that learning curve moment. You know what I mean? That says, this is going to cost me.
This is going to cost you more than you think.
It's going to cost my time. It's going to cost my money. It's going to take a piece of my body with it.
Mm-hmm. It's hard to maintain, right? But oh man, yeah.
But the beauty is your neighbors will tell you how beautiful your lawn looks. And when you pull up to your home, it's nothing like it. Seeing that your house,
and again, we
that
also
curb appeal.
Yeah. And we also didn't get into, like I said, like the real beautifying of your lawn, right? So you can have lights, put lights at night so they point up at the house. That's what we have. So it illuminates the house better.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It's great, right? It's great. It costs. It all costs. You get you some solar lights, so you can save a little, right? But all of that, right? You talked about having a house and just the other costs associated, because you're not just paying that mortgage and the insurance. You're paying for your utilities. You're paying,
pay that.
You know, anything breaks, it's on you.
It's on you.
You got to call the plumber if your toilet stopped up, or you can try to fix it yourself.
Yeah,
but you probably have to call the plumber.
And it's not going to be very long too after you, especially if it's a new build, before you're going to have to really hire a painter to come in and really paint.
Yes.
Because basically they put that flat paint, they put a primer in the flat paint, and it looks good, but it's not going to be durable for living.
Not at all.
Not unless you live there by yourself and you're working all the time and you're never there. You know what I'm saying? But so it's all of these maintenance. It's that learning curve to learn that how much is this going to cost me to own this house?
A lot.
You know, and all people talk about is your mortgage, your insurance, your taxes, and the write-offs that you're going to get. But nobody tells you
your interest
the
rate,
sweat, not blood, but sweat and equity that you're going to sweat equity that you're going to have to give up to keep that house.
100%.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Like I remember you installing ceiling fans.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Because he needed them, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
So we installed the ceiling fans. That was a challenge in its own because I'm not an electrician.
Right.
So I'm making sure I'm turning the circuit breaker off. Yes, thank you. I'm going up there. I'm taking off the booby light. Y'all know what the booby light is. It's the generic light that looks like a you know
that
what.
The builders put in.
That the builders put in. You take that off. You got to take the light bulb out. I'm putting the fan up there.
Yeah.
And in one of the rooms, y'all, I installed the fan and everything worked fine. Except in the guest room. So the fan came on. I was so excited, right? I'm like, yeah, the fan working.
Yeah.
We got air in this room. It can get hot down here. The light wouldn't come on, y'all. The actual light. So picture a ceiling fan that has the lights on the side attached to the ceiling fan. The lights themselves would not come on, but the fan would come on. And it is the most frustrating thing.
Yeah. So what was the learning curve for you with that?
Call an electrician. If you don't know, because listen, and even that is learning, right? Because the electrician is going to come out, they're going to go, oh, you just forgot to, you might have not tightened this wire enough, or you need to strip this wire and extend it a little more and then tighten it, or this circuit needs to attach to this, what have you. So just be ready to shell out some extra cash if you've never owned a home before like me, or you've...
So the learning curve for you was, but wasn't there a sense of pride once you did it?
For sure.
Okay. And then to know that sometimes we'll watch videos or read things and they make it sound so simple, but once you get in, it's always a little something.
It's always a little something
that seems like nobody told you, or it's always something that can go wrong. So did you finally get the lights to working, son?
I think we should talk about something else. No, I didn't get the lights working. I didn't get it working. It's on my to-do list. I promise.
So as far as the learning curve goes,
yes.
So what are you going to take that down and redo it again?
I'm going to call an electrician.
Oh, so that's your learning curve.
Put in too much work, and I'm going to have him take a look at it. I'm going to be right there with him while he does it. He's going to charge me more money than I'm willing to pay for.
Feel like you were out of your elements, or why do you feel like you're going to call an electrician? Because you don't want to deal with it anymore?
Yeah, because I've tried different things. Okay. And I'm not a handyman. Right. I'm not handy. Right. I can fix certain things if I need to. I can YouTube University is a great tool. But I also know, like I said, I'm not an electrician. Right. So if it's something electrical, it doesn't make sense to me. Why would the fan work and the light not work?
Right. That's true. Yeah. And that could be frustrating.
That's very frustrating, right? But
so the learning curve of that is that stay in your lane, huh?
Yeah. Know your strengths. Know your strengths and outsource.
Stick to fertilizing the lawn and cutting the grass.
Know your strengths and outsource. Yeah. Outsource the stuff you don't understand if you can. Yeah. Or try to do it yourself, and if it doesn't work, then you're still gonna have to outsource it. Yeah. So I wanted to talk to you as well about going back to like the idea of like branding and marketing, right? That's kind of what the point of my channel is. Oh, okay. Because I want to show people in real time how to build a personal brand, right? And how to benefit from that. Okay. Benefit from a personal brand, turn it into a business, dive into it. But one of the things that I know me and you talk about frequently is, and I've seen some TikTok videos on this too, is like a family compound.
Yes.
I wanted to talk to you about that and get your thoughts on. I know you're very supportive of it.
Yes, I'm very supportive.
So why is that? What is it about the family compound that is
I think
attractive to you?
Back to the learning curve, and what I'm seeing is the older I get, the more I really want family close. And the more I see how crazy the world is getting, you know, and I've watched a couple of other people, and I see the benefits of family being close. Like I can see the benefits of, like, when we lived down there in North Carolina with you for a year, being close to the baby.
Yes.
I can see the benefits of, if we could build a compound, buy some land and have a compound, because the other people are doing it all the time, and we need to really think about it. You know what I mean? 100%. The benefits of the safety, like you talked about today, there's safety in numbers. And the safety of that, of being able to have my grandson just jump on a four-wheeler and come down to Nana's house, or just run across the park, run across the field over to Nana's house. You know what I'm saying? And us being there together. You know what I mean? And for me, I just think, like, there's enough of us that we could put all of our skills together. Back to learning. I know how to garden, you know, and I know my daughter-in-law knows how to garden. You know what I mean? I mean, like, so the skills that we have so many skills that we're not really using. So I feel like if we could do a compound, then whoever wanted to, you're good at taking care of the lawn. Not to say that that would be what you would do, but you know what I mean? Right. And bring those skills together and build that brand and build that compound. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Yeah, because we are the brand.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The family brand.
The family brand.
You know what
100%.
I mean? 100%. So to bring us all together, and so that we can do that and be, because you think about one person living over here paying X amount of mortgage, one person living over here paying X amount of mortgage, one person living over here.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense
at a certain point. And I know that there are other groups of people that all might live in a 5-bedroom house. It might be 15 people in the house.
Yeah, yeah.
But they're all splitting the cost. I was talking to somebody the other day about this. They're all splitting the cost. So while it is crowded, while it is chaos and things going on, you're still, if 15 people put $100 towards a grocery bill.
Right. Yeah.
I know there's been a lot of talk about people buying cows.
Right. Oh yeah.
I've seen that on TikTok a lot, right?
And my family did that. And Gina, they would do that. They would buy a cow or half a cow, and my mom would get so much, my aunt would get so much, Aunt Fanny would get so much. Yeah, we did that.
I didn't know that.
Yes. Yeah.
So if you guys aren't familiar, let me break that down.
They're from Alabama.
That's right. So you can, and it's on TikTok. So if you guys search on TikTok, buying half a cow, quarter cow,
people are doing it.
You buy the cow, the people, the farm that you buy it from, they'll cut up the cow into the pieces that you want. So you might say, I want 10 ribeyes, I want 50 burgers, I want this and that. And a whole cow might cost, depending on where you're looking, let's say it's $2,000 for a whole cow. That meat will probably last you
a long time,
depending on how big your family is, a very long time. It's definitely more cost efficient than going to the store and buying meat, and it's real meat.
Yeah, right.
I just learned that,
and it'll be grass-fed cow, grass-fed cow. Another thing is that I'm talking to the ladies in my community, and I've already started this with Liz and a few other ones that I'm talking to. I'm talking about, like I say, I'm talking about how we got to go back to the old landmark, go back. I'm saying, like, now when we go to the farmer's market and you get that big old bushel of corn, I don't need 50 ears of corn for me and my husband, but I'll pay the $5 or the $6 and I'm gonna distribute it to them. And then she's gonna buy the green beans. Somebody else will buy the potatoes.
Group economics.
That's what I'm already on it.
So going back to the compound as well, and I know we going
all over.
We going, right?
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to. This gonna have to be 2 parts too.
Yeah.
But I think there are a lot of benefits to the compound. But I think the most difficult part is getting everybody on the same page.
That's the part.
You know what I mean? Getting everybody on the same page. But there's a lot of benefits to the group compound. There's safety benefits.
Yeah.
Like I saw a video of a couple that was everybody has a radio is the idea, right? Because you're so close together. And you might say, hey, me and my wife are gonna go out on a date. KD is here at the house, and you guys just make sure they're good. And then let's say KD hears a noise and he gets scared and he goes, I heard a noise, I'm scared. He can radio you guys and everybody can come and double check, make sure he's good, or one person or what have you. But there's safety benefits, the economics of it, like you said. Crazy. You all put your money together and go buy a cow or you go buy vegetables. Your money goes so much further. And then everybody also still has their own piece of land. So if you don't want to be bothered.
Right. Yeah, because I'm not talking about like building one big, huge house and we all there together.
No.
I could have my house.
Grandkids.
Yeah, I could have my house and I could be a half a mile, maybe not even a half a mile down the road.
Probably like a quarter.
You could be a quarter of a mile. And then somebody else over here, where the kids can get on the mopeds, the 3-4-wheelers and ride to your house. I'm not talking about that we're all on top of each other like sardines or anything like that. But at the same time, you go buy yourself 20 acres. Because I just saw on YouTube that if you get 20 acres, you can classify it as a farm. Anything less than that, no. And then there's so many write-offs with the government that you're going to get if you have 20 acres. And if you got 20 acres and surely you can live next door to me or I can live next door. We don't have to be right up on each other. You know what I mean? There's some rules and respecting each other boundaries and everything,
100%.
Yeah. So.
And if we need some, y'all know eggs are expensive right now. If you run out of eggs,
you got your chickens.
Hop on that moped, get in your car, tell your kids, hey, go get some eggs from Nana. They can go, Nana, we need some eggs. Right. Okay. You don't got to go to the grocery store.
Right.
Everything is right there, right?
I'm telling you, yeah.
In that farmland, that's a whole nother video, y'all. But there is so many benefits.
Yeah.
But, okay, well, we could talk all day.
Yeah, we sure can. LRning Curve, because we in here to learn.
That's right.
You never stop learning. Never, ever stop learning, whatever you do. Even me, I'm still learning. I try to learn something all the time. Learn something new. Like right now, I'm not eating meat. So I'm learning how to cook, without meat.
Without meat.
Yeah, how to take pecans and mushrooms and make meat. You know what I mean?
There it is.
So you've always got to stay in the vein of keep learning. Be open to learning,
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we could talk all day.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here because it's a lot to edit.
Okay.
Learning how to do that.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for coming on, Mother.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you too, sweetie.
And y'all can look forward to this episode. I'm gonna be dropping some clips, of course, and you can follow her on YouTube and on social media, doing life with Miss Mary.
Yeah.
And I'll put it in the captions below too. So
thanks, guys.
Thanks for watching, y'all. Till next time. Peace.